Okay. Hey guys, what's up? Evilzombie here. So today I'm going to be talking about another tier list I'm doing. So this one's going to be using Tier Maker again, and I'm going to do it on the best Godzilla movies, from the best to the worst. I'm going to remove this pop filter. Hold on. Okay, so I have ranked S, A, B, C, D, and F. So S is absolute perfection, the best of the best. There's nothing they really could have done to make it any better. A, they could have made it. There's very little they could do to improve it. It's so good. It's a great movie. Very little wrong with it. B, it's a good movie. It's a pretty good movie still. And there's really not that much to complain about. There's a couple of little complaints. They could have fixed a few things. C, it's not very good. Either run-of-the-mill average, just below average. B could be considered average. It's good, but there's some things wrong. C is below average. It's not a good movie. It's not a bad movie. It's kind of bad. You know, you're probably not going to watch it again, but it was okay. D, it's a bad movie. They could have fixed several things in it. It could have done better. It's worth a watch, maybe, but they definitely could have fixed a lot of things in it. F, F that movie. They shouldn't have made it. It's bad. Okay, so let's jump back into this. There's a lot of them. I'm going to try and go through this. Oh my, and none of these are in order. Holy crap. Why would they do this to me? Okay, let's start here. Okay, anime trilogy. Okay, I gotta organize this. Holy crap, hold on. Okay, the ordering is not perfect, but it's better. I did not really organize the Showa era that much. It's all, sorry, my list is all over the place, but at least some of the movies I have kind of in order. So I can work with it. It's fine. It's fine. There's so many movies, and technically it's not all of the movies, because King of the Monsters, Godzilla King of the Monsters, is a different movie than just Gojira. It's a different movie. It really is. There's no Godzilla, the colorized Godzilla movie from Italy. There's no Tokyo 1964, or sorry, Tokyo 1960. The Philippines Godzilla movie. They don't have that in here, which bugs me a little bit. Not as many people know about that, I guess. And then there's no alternate version of Godzilla 2000 or alternate version of Godzilla, King Kong versus Godzilla. Those two are definitely different enough in their translations. Oh, and Godzilla 1985. They have Return of Godzilla. They don't have 1985, which is a different movie, has added scenes. Like, if they filmed their own scenes, changed several parts of it, and then added all their own and remixed the whole thing, I consider it a different movie. Damn it. Okay, starting off. Let's jump into this, so I don't go on a rant. That frustrated me so much. Half the movies are gone. The original, the big one. The original movie is S tier. There is no way around that. It's a fantastic film. It's not just a movie. This qualifies for the title, film. It has a statement. It was dark, it was gritty, it was scary, it was dramatic, it was sad and terrifying. It was a great movie. I mean, it still is a good movie. It's ahead of its time. The special effects are actually pretty good. You guys would be surprised. If you have not seen it yet and you just didn't watch it because it's black and white, trust me, this one was better than the rest of the entire Showa era movies, all the way past 1976. This was better than all of those. This is the best of the Showa era. Absolutely. The only one that came close to matching, at least in visual quality, of course visual because color, but just overall movie would probably be, of the Showa era, of course, would probably be Mothra versus Godzilla or Godzilla versus The Thing, alternate title. Okay, so that was a great movie. It had a message that was very depressing, because this was made right after, like just 10 years after Japan was bombed. So it's very dark. It's very dark. And you do see families hugging and crying together right before Godzilla burns them alive. This is a crazy movie. It's good, it's dark, and it has a message. Go see it. Then I would put King of the Monsters right next to it, because you should consider that a true sequel. It was made in 1956, 2 years after it, 1 year after the actual sequel, Godzilla Raids Again, or Gigantus the Fire Monster, because there's a lot of alternate titles. Sorry, I'll try and tell you all of them. But basically, Godzilla King of the Monsters was the alternate view, the other viewpoint of what happens in this movie. It's very worth seeing. You should see it because you can consider it just the exact same movie, but from another person's perspective while it's happening. What if there was a reporter from America that happened to be in the city while the movie was taking place? That's their movie. So Godzilla King of the Monsters was the sequel. Go check that out also. That's right up there in S tier. It's a pair. You have to see them both. One's only in Japanese, just letting you know. The other one is only in English, just to let you know. Okay, I gotta cover these. I have to cover these. Okay, these 3 anime movies. This one. I hate to do it. And I did watch them several times. I own them. I found an official DVD release from Indonesia, which had an official release with both English and Japanese languages. I went to enough trouble to buy that because I wanted a complete collection. But they go in F tier. They shouldn't have been made. Fuck those movies. They are not good. I mean, the movies themselves, I don't want to say, as a whole, it's okay. But the way they did it could have been better. The first movie was good. It was interesting. It had a new direction to go, and that was fun. The third movie was a nice wrap-up. It did connect everything, and it had an interesting battle, and there were some cool things happening. The second movie completely kills it. The second movie, nothing happens, basically. It's a big stepping stone to get to the third movie, but way worse than you've ever seen before. Twin Towers is a stepping stone to get to Return of the King. The first Deathly Hallows is a stepping stone to get to Deathly Hallows Part 2. Infinity Wars... No, a lot of stuff happened in Infinity Wars. Basically, nothing happened. They should have had stuff happen. He might fire a beam once, but that's about it. You're not missing much. You have to go in knowing that it's a stepping stone movie. Otherwise, you'll be incredibly disappointed, and we had to wait for this to come out. It was very disappointing for us, and that's why I say you shouldn't have even fucking bothered. They could have done better. That was upsetting. I'm sorry if I cuss a little bit, but I am involved. They should have done better. They should have known better on that. Okay. I mostly have it zoomed in like that so I can see because I'm not wearing my glasses and I don't feel like it. I can go out a little bit. Okay. I'll just wince my eyes a little bit. Okay, so moving on. I'm going to go this one. The TriStar. It's tricky. It's controversial. As a Godzilla movie, it's terrible. It's abysmal. It's horrible as a Godzilla movie. I have to specify that as a Godzilla movie. But as a giant kaiju movie, as a monster movie, this is fantastic. It had a star-studded cast. It had a star-filled cast. It had a high budget. It had a lot of toys. It had a lot of entertainment value, laughs, action, great acting, all of that. It was a fantastic movie as a standalone kaiju movie. So where do I put it? I'm ranking the best Godzilla movies. So as a Godzilla movie, it would be a solid D. It's not good, but it's not as bad as several other ones. Well, D or C. As a Godzilla, it's really tricky because there's a lot of complaints for as a Godzilla movie. It's not very good. I might rank it a solid C. As a kaiju movie, it would have been an A. For the time, it was ahead of its time. It had a very high budget. Toho approved the design. They sat in a meeting in a room. They looked at the model for it. They looked at the drawings and the design. And at the end of the meeting, of being very quiet and serious, they agreed to it. So just so you guys know, that wasn't just a big loophole or anything like that. They didn't jump it on them. Okay. Sorry, I got a phone message, so I paused the video for a second. But nobody jumped it on Toho. That was approved. That design was approved. They said okay. So that's the only reason it's not even farther down. That was official. Okay, moving on. I'm a little emotional about Godzilla. Sorry. I want to talk about the 80s a bit first. So 1985. So the Return of Godzilla. Now, the original movie was dark. It was serious. It was scary. 1985, carries on the tradition very nicely. It really is a direct sequel to 1954. And it's actually very well done. It's a very good movie, but you don't have to see 1985 with Raymond Burr. You can just watch The Return of Godzilla. And if you own both copies of the movies, there's an edit of it that stitches together the whole thing and remasters it. There's a fan edit, so go check that out. I'll include a link. I don't condone piracy, so I cannot put a link in the description. Sorry, you'll have to look it up. It's a very good movie. It's not perfect. They advertised Dr. Pepper way too much. No, that's in 1985 with Raymond Burr. But still, it was very good. It could have done some things better because they were ahead of their time. It's really tricky. That one's maybe an A. That's a good movie. The Super X battle was cool. The destruction in the buildings was cool. He had a great suit. The suit was way better than anything we had ever seen in the past. Higher quality suit than any other Godzilla movie before it. Fantastic quality. And it set the standard going forward for the next decade. They had to meet that quality every year for the next decade and farther. Now, the cheap rubber suits are no longer acceptable because of this movie. They had a gigantic, 10-foot tall Godzilla head that for the facial motions, for the animatronic, so they could zoom in and move his face around, snarl and move the eyes, things like that. They went through so much work to make this believable. So that one is definitely a solid A. It's a good movie. They did a lot of work to bring him back. Okay, moving on to another one. Godzilla vs. Biollante. This one starts out slow. I rank it B. I'll explain why. It starts out very slow. Not much is happening, but it is a direct continuation of the first movie. Of 1985, the first movie in the Heisei era. See, all the DVD sets you're going to find are only going to show the Heisei era as being, they only sell from Godzilla vs. King Adora, Godzilla vs. Mothra, The Battle for Earth, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2, Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, and Godzilla vs. Destroya. That, to most marketing standpoints, is the Heisei era, but it's not. 1985, The Return of Godzilla and Godzilla vs. Biollante started the Heisei era, because 1985 in this one, 1989 in this one. Godzilla vs. King Adora didn't come out till 91. So, just so you know, the more you know, because knowledge is power. Okay, so basically Godzilla vs. Biollante had an interesting story. It had a great design for the suit, one of the best. Had really cool great monster fights, and it cannot go lower than a B. I can't put it higher because the movie does drag on. That's the only downside. It does tend to drag on. It gets a little full of its own story when you're there to see Godzilla fight things, honestly. But it was cool to see him return with the new style in a monster battle. Okay, moving on. I'm just continuing the Heisei era because I love it. Godzilla vs. King Adora. A lot of people complain. Even the Godzilla podcast complained about this a little bit because it was just so wacky with the time travel. But it's a Godzilla movie. Who cares if it's wacky? We already endured the entire 60s and 70s. That was ridiculous. You praise those, but you condone this. Anyways, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was fun. And Godzilla podcast, what was it? Drew and let me look. Okay, it's Drew and Joe. I talked to them on Discord and all that. They're great guys. I kept on wanting to say, I know it was Joe. I didn't want to mess it up and say Joseph, so I wanted to look it up, make sure I wasn't saying it wasn't short for Josh. Because I'm just crazy. But basically, they did not like this movie at all. At all. I love the heck out of the movie. I think it was very fun. I put it a little higher than Godzilla vs. Biollante. Godzilla vs. Biollante did drag on. It doesn't keep my attention the whole time. But Godzilla vs. King... No? Oh, it's really close. It's really close. Can I do like a A-? No, I gotta be fair. it's a good movie. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. The suit design is great. The story is captivating, and the characters are fun. So it's just an enjoyable movie that feels more like the the Showa era, while being modern for its time. Godzilla and Mothra: The Battle for Earth. I pop that down here. It's definitely a B. It's better than a C, but I think it's definitely a B. That one, it got a little far-fetched. It got a little full of itself with the Mothra aspect of it. And, yeah, Mothra was pretty cool, and it had its moments. But that movie basically is just all about praising Mothra for being the good monster. And the twins, of course, they were hot. That was another big plus to it, because the twins, oh my goodness. Anyways, moving on. So, that was, I'd set that as a solid B for that one. Moving on, I absolutely love Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2. It was a fun design. Rodan, they could have done better with. He was kind of derpy. The little one, nobody really cared about that story. But I enjoyed the monster fights between Godzilla and Mechagodzilla, despite the very low budget and the one scene with nothing on it. No destruction. So I ranked that down to B, unfortunately, because of that. Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, A. It's a good movie. It's fun. It's Space Godzilla. I mean, who cares if it's ridiculous? It's awesome. We love it anyways. It's just a fun movie. You need to go see this one because it's Space Godzilla. He's Godzilla from space, and he has telepathic powers. And there's lots of destruction, and it's fun. Okay. Godzilla vs. Destroyer. This one is S tier. This is a fantastic movie. Like, not because of the human interaction. No, sir. Not by any means. Not talking about them. Who cares about them? The monster battles, the designs, the emotions that you go through when you see what's happening with Godzilla, what happens to Godzilla, what happens to him and with his son. And the monster movie, the monster battles. I mean, it's so good. All those things are so perfect. This is S tier. This is a great movie. It was even advertised with the advertisement material before they came out, so it's not a spoiler. Godzilla dies. That's in the advertisement. You see how he's glowing? It's because he's a reactor. It's crazy. This is a great movie. But you cannot see it because all the Heisei movies are a continual series. So 1985, Biollante, Ghidorah, Mothra, Mechagodzilla 2, Space Godzilla, and Destroyer have to be watched in that order. Well, the first Godzilla first, of course. But they have to be watched in the order for it to make any sense at all because they are direct continuation one year after another. Okay, moving on. Godzilla 2000. This movie's perfection for me. I love this. This is my favorite movie. It's what my tattoo is based on. I love it. I love this movie so much. It's so good. It brought back everything. It was modernized. It was edgy. And I went to the theater for it. This is the first movie I got to see of Godzilla in the theater. And I actually got to see the movie before that, technically, because my VHS arrived from Japan a week before it came out in America. Oh, so good. But it was great. I loved the movie. The Japanese version is better because it's about 20 minutes longer than the English version of it because it has extra scenes on it. The lighting is different. The effects have been were tweaked a little bit in the English release. I think the Japanese release is the best version you can see of the movie. There's just a lot more to it. It's good. And I like Organizer G1 better than Regenerator G1. It just sounds better. So sue me. Moving on. Godzilla vs. Megaguirus. It's tricky. Ellen, it's silly, but it's definitely like a modern Showa movie for Godzilla. It's definitely a modern Showa movie. It felt like all the Showa. It felt like, it's really tricky to rank this one. It's like, I don't know how to rank this. Well, I know where it's ranked. I just don't know how to describe it. It's about as good as any of the 70s Showa movies. Way better than Godzilla vs. Hydra. The Smog Monster. Those don't know. Oh, yeah. I'm just going to pop that down there so you guys can think about that for a minute. Because fuck that movie. I'm the guy I'm the boring stiff that doesn't like the crazy creative movie, of course. But Godzilla vs. Megagodzilla, that was cool. The monster was a giant freaking dragonfly, and Godzilla was fast, and he was crazy. He did cool things, the fights were awesome, and the story was kind of interesting. You were wondering what happened. It tried to play it off like an actual mystery. That was a fun movie. I enjoyed it, and I think you will too. Moving on to another S-Class. This one's so good. So you know the Gamera Heisei trilogy? It's so wonderful, and it's known as the best of all Suidomation kaiju movies. There's nothing that tops it. The Gamera trilogy. The director of those also directed Godzilla, Mothra, and King Adora, Giant Monsters All-Out Attack. Yes, it's a long title, but that's the name of the movie, otherwise known as GMK. Godzilla, Mothra, King Adora, GMK. So that's what we all call it. A figure of that. Here's my figure of that. Hold on, let me show you. There. So cool. I love that movie so much. Oh, it's so good. Anyways, that movie is fantastic. It's pure gold. It had a creative storyline. It completely different from any other Godzilla movie. It's a good standalone movie. You don't have to see any other movie to see it. You don't even have to have seen the first movie to see it. Godzilla is his own thing in this movie. And it's so cool. It really changed a lot of things. The special effects were great. The suit was great. The fights were great. Human interaction was actually really good, too. It's one of the best Godzilla movies out of the entire bunch. I just gotta tell you guys that. It's so good. Okay, this next set is an actual pair. And they easily, by everyone that sees them, rank as an A. Some people would rank it higher, but I rank them as an A. But this is a great pair. The second one has Mothra in it, who I'm pretty sure dies like in every other Mothra movie in existence, because that's just what Mothra do. That's just what Mothra do. There's only like one movie that Mothra lived through. Right? That was like Godzilla and Mothra, the Battle for Earth. I think that's the only time he actually lived. But I'm sorry for spoiling. Who cares if Mothra lives or dies at this point, because she dies so often. Anyways, these are so good. Kiryu is the name for Mechagodzilla, and it's built on top of the skeleton of the original 1954 Godzilla. It's a continuation directly of that movie, and it forgets the entire rest of the series. Same as 1985, and same as Godzilla 2000. Those all directly continue the original 1954. But it's a good pair. This one comes first. They build the robot, and they fight Godzilla with it. And it's a very cool-looking fight. Interesting characters, all that stuff. And it did so well, they continued it directly. It was the same suit, same Godzilla, same characters, everything. It's so good. You get a duology. It has nothing to do with the rest of the series. Okay, next one. Godzilla Final Wars. I rank that... It's really tricky. This movie is perfection to me. It's so good. This is the best party movie ever because you just enjoy yourself. It's so much fun. We watch this as a group and you're cheering the whole time. If you watch the original Japanese language version, because they have one American in the movie that refuses to speak in Japanese, even though he's with an all-Japanese cast that never speak English in the movie. He always replies in English. It's ridiculous, but it's so good. It's so cheesy, but I love it. It's so good. Okay, moving on. I know I haven't put many in here, but I will. Don't worry. Moving on. I got so many other movies here. Oh, Godzilla vs. Megalon. That was actually a pretty good one. It was entertaining. Everyone from America knows this movie. They love this movie. And it was pretty good. It had a lot of just lighthearted kaiju action, and there's not much more. It's not very complicated. It was just a fun movie. Where did you go? I was looking for the sequel to, or the one that came before it. There he is. Gigan. This one I do put down here. Godzilla vs. Gigan was okay, but it was a lot slower. It did feel slow. It did kind of drag on a little bit. Megalon was a better movie, just because it was faster and more fun, and had Jet Jaguar. So there's not much to say about Godzilla vs. Gigan, other than Gigan was cool. He's basically Space Chicken with a chainsaw in his chest. Ghidorah was in it. That was kind of cool. Oh, these two. This one, I'm sorry. You'll understand in a minute. And this one. So basically, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. It's a great movie. It's really cool, but it has a really long and boring song, and I hate the song so much that I would lower its grade for the movie because of that song. But Godzilla vs. Terror of Mechagodzilla is basically the same general thing, but with an extra kaiju, or a different kaiju for him to fight, no help for Godzilla, and there's no song. So it's even better. It's so cool. I love it. Those are great movies. They're all-time classics and legends. Oh, King Kong vs. Godzilla, solid A. It's a fun movie. There's nothing else. It's a high-budget movie. They had to deal with Hollywood. You got to check it out. This one, Mothra vs. Godzilla, can be counted as a film. The acting is good. The story is good. There's a lot of good things in this movie. It has a lot going for it. You need to check that one out. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I fed my girls. So let's see. Last it was... I think it was this one. Godzilla vs. Gigan. Moving on. So we got a lot of movies here. This one... Oh, it's really small. I can't see it. Let me zoom back in. Oh, this one. This is... It's not a good movie. It's kind of bad. I enjoyed it. It was just a fun, simple movie, and I watch it with my kids because my youngest one just likes the silliness of it. It's not a bad movie. It's just not a good movie. So it's right there in the middle of the road. A little less than the middle of the road. That's All Monsters Attack or Godzilla's Revenge. Same movie. Okay, moving on. This is Godzilla vs. Monsters Zero. It's actually a surprisingly good movie. Yeah, Godzilla vs. Monster Zero is a surprisingly good movie. If you haven't seen it, you should. It has a great structure, good pacing, the storyline plays out very well, nice actors. It's a good movie overall. And then the lady they had play the alien lady. Yep, everything in this movie was very nice. The effects were good, the monsters were fun, the fights were fun too. So you guys should check that one out, Godzilla vs. Monster Zero. That was just an overall fun movie. Wait, am I thinking the right movie? What is that picture of? Go up. Where did it go? I think so. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. That's Destroyal Monsters. Sorry, I had to zoom really far in to see it. Because I'm just apparently blind. That's Destroyal Monsters. That one. Putting it down here in C. Because it's really slow. Where is Monster Zero? Oh, here it is. This one's Monster Zero. The space helmets. That one's going right there in B. But C is Destroying Monsters because the monster fight in the end is... It's okay. No, it's Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. Sorry, not Destroy Monsters. Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. What's it? I'm trying to remember. Oh, no, wait. That's this one. Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. Yeah, this is this is Destroy All Monsters. It was an okay movie. It was supposed to be a big brawl, but it really dragged on, and the brawl happened at the end. Let's see. This one, it's just a bad movie. It was good for the time they had and the money they had. But 1955, the whole movie was written, casted, produced, shot, edited, and released in like an 8-month period of time or something ridiculous like that. It was really rushed. Like suit design, everything, all really quick. And it just didn't end up very good because of that, because they really rushed it. Same situation as Son of Kong, the sequel to King Kong from the 30s. Same situation. Basically, it could have been better. They just didn't because they couldn't, because also the director wasn't available. He was working on another movie during the time. So that one is the one that fills up the D space. Because it's not something that ever should have been made. It's just they could have done it better. Okay, this one, Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. It's right around C. It's a pretty average one. That one's moderate. It's not good. It really kind of drags on in parts. And, yeah, no. It just doesn't play out as well as you'd hope for King Ghidorah. It is just, the monster battle is not really a battle. It's just a one-sided bashing from every other monster on him. Yeah, that one they could have done better on that movie for how big it was. That's all I really have to say on that one. This one was an interesting one. Godzilla versus the Sea Monster, I would also put right in the sea. Basically everything in this entire movie, from the monster battles, the suits, the people, it's all very middle of the road, and it's not good per se, it's not bad, it's just right in the middle of the road. It's an okay Godzilla movie, you can watch it, and it's a movie. Wait, this one is... What was the other one I just put on there? Godzilla's Revenge is this one. What was this one? This was... Is that Destroyal Monsters? What is that? Let me zoom in on that. No, that looks like Gabra. Yeah, that looks like Gabra. But that one... Son of Godzilla. That's that one. Son of Godzilla. Okay. Son of Godzilla was actually better than Godzilla's Revenge. By a fair margin. Son of Godzilla was actually pretty well done. It had some silly moments. It didn't dwell too much on the silly. Had a decent human plot, actually. Nice casting, and it was a pretty good movie. It was pretty fun. It wasn't bad really in any way. It was a fun movie. Okay, now all these are going to be good. Let's see. Zoom out so I can get to the top tier. Okay, Godzilla. Good, solid A. The build-up for him was actually really good. They did a good job on the build-up to him and teasing him a little bit at a time until they finally revealed the new design of Godzilla and the kaiju at the end and all that. That was a lot of fun. The whole movie was just a very fun experience. We all enjoyed it. You know you did. Who cares if the human side is not as focused on, because we're focused on the monster. Godzilla King... Oh, hold on, guys. Okay, so... Hold on, Holly. Okay, guys, so two things. One, my daughter's in their next room taking a bath, so I'm going to hear a lot of her talking. There's no avoiding that. And two, I just had a bunch of hot sauce that I have mixed into my quesadilla. So I'm going to be breathing weird the rest of this video. Sorry. I apologize. Okay, so King of the Monsters. It's a really good movie to me. I'm just gonna jump these into here because they're in there for me. These are movies where I was actively cheering the whole time. All three of these movies, I was cheering, yelling in the theater the whole time. I love these movies. King of the Monsters. All the kaiju action we could want. So much kaiju action. It was fun. I mean, the movie's just a good time. Godzilla feels powerful. It's shiny. There's monsters. There's destruction. Rodan got all the justice he deserved. Like, all the justice. Ridiculous amounts of justice were given back to Rodan from all the years of them just treating him like a bird. He was so cool in that movie. Godzilla King of the Monsters from Legendary is a great movie. It's one of those must-sees. Kong Skull Island is probably one of the best kaiju movie of all time also, just because it was just very well done, but that's not on this list because it's not Godzilla. Godzilla versus Kong. It gave us what we wanted. The definitive battle. A lot of action. Okay, moderate human story, but that's not the point of the movie. And a lot of monster battle between Godzilla and Kong. So it let us see who would win, and it showed us several times. And it had several matchups, and it had big effects, big budget, lots of monsters destruction, city destruction, not just mountains or anything like that. It was cool. The movie was amazing, and I cheer all the time. I watch it all the time. I have the Blu-ray out there, and I love that movie. Shin Godzilla. This is on here because it's so much. It's made from Hideo Kojima, and it's so much like, what's it called? Like the original Gojira, that there's no way it couldn't be in this list. It's very much a carbon copy of the formula and the feel, the mood of that movie. It's very dark. It has an interesting twist on humor. Basically, it pokes fun at the government. It has a statement, a political statement, like most of the successful Godzilla movies do. Basically, just against bureaucracy in general. And the movie does everything so well. The effects are fantastic. They did both CGI and Suitomation. Like, they had a gigantic, like, 10-foot tall robot of Godzilla. Oh, hold on. Okay, it's recording again. Sorry, I helped my grandma out on a phone call. So, Shin Godzilla, it has good political statements, it has amazing effects. The Godzilla stands out from any other one in the series, and it's its own standalone film. Crazy things happen in this movie, because Hideo Kojima is the guy that did Evangelion. Kojima? No, Hideaki Anno? Why do I keep saying Kojima? That's Metal Gear Solid. Hideaki Anno. Different guy. Guy that did Neon Genesis Evangelion from Gainax. Don't kill me, guys. Sorry, I mixed up the name. I know who it is. Great movie, though. So many things are good about it. You gotta see it. It's fantastic. Anyways, that is all the movies in the list. And this is our official ranking for amazing, good, pretty good, not very good, outright bad, but it could have fixed it in some way if they really worked harder. And then, why did they even bother? Oh yeah, and I didn't talk about Godzilla vs. Hydra, but I just hate that movie. So you either hate the movie or you love it. There's no middle ground. That's it. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. If you want to see more of these, let me know. What do you want to know about my rankings on? Just let me know in the comments, and I'll try and make a movie of it, because I like this site, and this is actually a lot of fun. So have a good one, guys. I appreciate ya. Bye.